I hereby call this meeting of the Nevada City Planning Commission to order. First, we'll do the Nisenan tribe recognition. We acknowledge that the Nisenan people are still here among us today, though nearly invisible. We understand that we are on Nisenan land that was never ceded, and the original tribal families have yet to recover from near genocide of their people. As a resident or visitor in Nisenan land, we support the Nevada City Rancheria Nisenan tribe in efforts to stabilize their people, as well as their campaign to restore federal recognition. With that, Pledge of Allegiance. Jim, do you want to lead us today?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Simmons?
Yes.
Commissioner Nye?
Here.
Commissioner Hadami?
Here?
Vice Chair Cobden?
Here.
Chair Brown?
Here. And next, we're going to do some introductions. We have some new faces here. So, Joan, would you like to introduce?
Sure. My name is Joan Philippi. I'm the interim city manager. I'll be here for the next 5 months or so as we recruit for a new city manager. And today I'm filling in. I won't be in this seat for every planning commission meeting while I'm here. Bethany has done an outstanding job in putting together today's agenda and will handle most of the dialogue. But anyway, I'm happy to be here, and I welcome any comments, questions. My email and phone number are on the website, so please feel free to give me a call. Thank you.
Great. Bethany, do you want to introduce yourself too?
Sure, yeah. Hi, everyone. I've met most of you before today, but yeah, I'm Bethany Celio, the Community Development Technician, and my role is both planning and engineering, which is really unique, and so since the recent staff changes, I've been filling in for some of the planning duties, and yeah, happy to help and, help things move along. So excited to be here. Thank you.
Great. And we have one, not a new face, but new in 3D. So, Russ.
An actual human, right?
An actual human,
Large
right.
image here today. Hi, Russell Hildebrand. I'm the Deputy City Attorney.
Excellent. Nice to have you in person. All right. With that, we'll go on to public comment. This is for items not on the agenda. Items on the agenda will have a public comment period at the time they are discussed. Is there anyone who would like to talk about an item not on the agenda? All right, seeing no one, we'll move on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are considered to be routine in nature, and all recommended actions of the staff report will be approved in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the commission or public requests otherwise, in which case it will be removed for consideration. Is there anyone who would like to discuss any of the items on the consent calendar? If not, would someone like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I move we approve this consent calendar.
All right, great. We have a motion. Take a second.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Consent calendar is approved.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt. May we go back to introductions
Oh,
for just
sure.
a second? I neglected to introduce two very critical pieces of information here and introductions of the people who will be filling these roles. So as you know, we are in need of additional planning staff. Our planning director is no longer with us, so we have authorization from the council to enter into a hiring agreement with Jessica Hankins, who will serve as our interim planning director. The agreement will be for 6 months, and she will be working very closely with Bethany and myself to transition into all of the activities that are going on in the planning department. Our primary goal is to send the message not only to you as commissioners and to city staff, but to the community that planning remains a priority for this city and that we're not dropping the ball on any projects in progress, any applications that are in the works, that we're still accepting applications. We just want there to be a positive message. The other person is Gary Price. Gary's contract will be, and some of you are probably familiar with Gary. He's done work for the city before. He will have a different type of agreement. It will be a special projects consulting agreement, which will be on the next council agenda next week. So if either of you would like to make any comment, now would be the appropriate time.
Go ahead, you're the director.
I just wanted to say hello. And thank you for having me. I'm really excited about the opportunity that the city council and staff has given us to work with the city and just support the city and the community right now. I'm a member of the community, worked as a county planner for a long time, and I'm just excited to actually be working on projects in the community again. So thank you.
I'm Gary Price. I think at least 3 of you I know, having done a few general plan elements with you, the most recent being the CAPSI, Climate Action and Safety and Noise element, and then several housing elements. So I'm going to be more in the background, but working with Bethany and Joan, and particularly Jessica, on looking at the long-range planning needs in our community and keeping things on track with some of the things we got going. And I've worked with Russ extensively, not only with this town, but other towns. So we have a really good working, and Joan as well. So I really look forward to, we love local work, and this is my favorite place in the world. So this is really a wonderful time to, opportunity to step up and help our community.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
welcome both of you. But happy to
Yes.
have your services and assistance,
Yeah, we look
especially
forward to
during
working
this
with
period
you.
of transition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We did.
Yes, we did.
We did.
All right, moving on to the first item on the agenda. Scrolling down. Are you going to do the presentation,
Share my
Bethany?
screen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
okay.
ahead.
All right, 1 second. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah,
Great. All right, and then I introduce
yes,
the
please.
item? Okay. Yeah, so this is a sign application in the Historic District, 111 North Pine Street for Friar Tuck's Restaurant. And it is just a proposal to change,
Yeah, please, let's have the applicant come forward,
okay,
too.
hi Ken. This is Ken Page. And yeah, so it's just a redesign. It's not an increase in signage size. So we can go down here and see the proposed design and colors. All right. And then do I just open it up for Ken to
Yeah, is there anything you'd like
discuss
to
anything
add?
else to add?
No, it's just, Friar Tuck's is a valuable memory place in town. And, when you move along, you want to kind of upgrade the look a little bit and, kind of go with what's happening. And we feel that this has more of a friendly, warm feel. The other felt too San Francisco, like too elegant. Yeah, not too, you know what I'm saying. We want it to be toned down to where everybody can come enjoy. So
Great.
that's why we chose that logo.
Great, thank you. Yeah, anything else you'd like to add, Bethany? I mean, it meets all the requirements of the size and all of that. It was
Yeah.
described in the report. Great. Are there any questions from the commission? Seeing none?
I have one just for my,
Okay.
just for my interest. I'm curious. Are you just refinishing your original sign piece?
Yeah, we just took the same sign down
Yeah.
putting this on it, so everything's identical, same hardware, you know, and it's, yeah, same thing, we just replaced it with.
Okay, cool.
A little refresh, yeah.
Yeah, just reprint, yeah.
Great. Are there any comments from the public on this item? All right, seeing none, move it to the commission for discussion. Is there anything anyone would like to discuss about this? Seems pretty straightforward.
Yep.
All right. Anyone like to make a motion? I will move that we approve the sign as recommended.
I'll second that.
We have a second. All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Simmons? Yes. Commissioner Nye?
Yes?
Commissioner Halimi?
Yes.
Vice Chair Cubden?
Yes.
Chair Brown?
Yes. Great.
Motion carries.
Approved.
You're all welcome to come in for a glass of wine on me. Anytime you want.
Thanks,
Good
Ken.
you said that afterwards.
Take care.
Yeah.
And that doesn't violate any gift.
You said it right in front of the city attorney, too. All right, moving on to the next item. 110 Redbud Way, architectural review and tree removal for a new single-family residence garage and ADU.
Is
Are
John
the applicants
Halford here?
Come forward, please. Great, welcome. All right,
All
Bethany.
right, so this item is for architectural review and tree removal to build a new single-family residence with an attached garage and ADU at 110 Redbud Way. This home is within a subdivision, the Broad Street Commons subdivision, and let me just go down to the proposed design. What else should I add to talk about this item?
I think if you just go through some of the background,
Uh-huh, okay.
just kind of reiterate what's in the staff report.
Okay. Yes, so the subject parcel was created by a subdivision map recorded in October 2004 and was created as part of the Nevada City Co-housing Project, also known as Broad Street Commons. The subject property is Lot 2 on the map. It's currently a vacant parcel. It's zoned as multifamily residential R2 with the Scenic Corridor Combining District and the standards outlined in Resolution 2003-03, of which an excerpt is attached to this packet. As a condition of approval, with a tentative map, the single-family lots that were created, including the subject parcel, were required to construct an ADU at time of building the residence. For this property, the ADU is required to be deed restricted to low-income individuals or families, and the city holds responsibility for helping to evaluate renters and enforce the low-income requirement. Notably, the resolution requires that the primary home shall not exceed 2,000 square feet, excluding the garage and ADU. The maximum building footprint should conform with the map allowance. Garages shall be accessed from the co-housing driveway, not off Redbud Way. And the ADU is required at time of primary residence construction and cannot exceed 640 square feet. And lastly, that the garages and carriage houses may have a 0 rear and side setbacks as shown on the map. And so the proposed residence is 1,911 square feet in size, with a 160 square foot covered porch, an attached garage, and a 480 square foot ADU above. The roof material is proposed to be composition shingles, and the primary roof pitch is proposed to be 9 and 12, and the overall height is 30 feet, 5 inches. Siding is proposed to be engineered wood in a board and bat style with cedar shingles at the gable ends. Windows and sliding glass doors are proposed to be white vinyl. And then for tree removal, the property owner requests the removal of 9 trees that are located within the building footprint or would be dangerously close to the proposed residence.
Great, thank you. Anything else you would like to add? No? All right. Go ahead.
Maybe I should also mention that in doing our review of this project, we also found that the HOA has covenant CC&Rs, and there are architectural and construction covenants and site performance standards that the HOA needs to sign off on as well before any site work or tree removal or construction is to be done. So perhaps it could be just noted in your discussion that that would be an important next step
Okay.
for the homeowner, yeah.
But presumably, if that happens, if there was anything that changes, they would come back.
They would need to come back if
Yeah,
any changes were
exactly.
required, yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right, questions from the commission? Questions?
Bethany answered my question, 'cause it seemed like there are HOA considerations there. I don't see any, I was curious about lighting, outdoor lighting, if lighting instruments have been selected, or if those are part of the HOA considerations, where light is directed, style of lighting, et cetera.
I haven't addressed that yet.
We've been asking people to voluntarily, because we don't have a dark sky ordinance in force yet, though it's being developed. And since you're starting anew, to consider dark sky lighting fixtures which direct light downward rather than up or out, up
Familiar
and
with
out.
that? Yeah, I'd be happy to do that and implement that.
So that might be then, if you're willing, just to get ahead of being required to do so.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, then we might consider that as a condition of approval. Cool, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing no questions, are there any comments from the public on this item? All right, Chuck?
Good day. I'm a neighbor, and I have a couple questions. Good day, John. How are you doing? Good. And, well, a couple things. There's a couple red flags that I have. I designed the other three houses on that are next to the HOA and their ADUs, and all three of those had the same problems that I was expecting this one to have, which is there's a lot of water coming down this way, and about 15 years ago, it became illegal to put water on the adjacent properties. This actually shows some water going to our property, and we have a lot of reasons that we don't want to fill up our gravel driveway or our gravel parking with other water. That water is designed to be held on our property to keep sudden flow from going. So I would recommend, I don't know if it's a conditional approval or what, but I recommend that this water be understood before it heads across this curb. And the way I addressed it on the other three lots is I simply put a swale at the bottom, similar to, I have a drawing where it shows this grade goes down, and then here it goes up again, and then this world right here is designed to hold the water, sink it into the ground, whether it's sand, gravel, or other means, that it actually goes right into the ground. Very common practices. I design, thousands of units around the U.S. all the time. And similarly, on this side, we have 12% slope here. We have 18% slope here. That's consequential, especially once the ground cover is addressed or is removed. And I recommend a swale along the house here too. Again, with a little bit of slope going this way and a little bit of slope going this way to catch the water before, for example, it affects his crawl space, etc. And the similar over here. So this is 18%, this is 12%. There's a lot of water to be considered here. And I really would like it to be addressed now so that it doesn't end up on our site. The big danger with it being on our site is we get it on our driveway and then it freezes overnight and somebody goes out there unsuspectingly and falls on their butt because they hit ice. But there's other reasons, including the fact that we went to major water mitigation issues on our site. The second red flag that I have is these stairs come right down to the driveway now. So especially I'm worried about kids or elderly people, anybody walking down here, especially kids, and then they run right into traffic. That's ongoing traffic. And the way this traffic works, I know because I park here all the time, is you make a wide swing when you're going to park in a left-hand parking spot. So you get really close to these buildings. I get a foot from these buildings routinely. And if there's a walker coming down the set of stairs right there, especially a kid, they're walking right into traffic. Legally, he can't use our site for required setback. Building department required, a required landing. Building department requires a landing here that's as wide as the stairs and 36 inches deep, though you might check that because it might be 44 inches now. And so that would require an easement on our part, but we wouldn't want to grant an easement because we don't want people walking into the traffic lane, basically, unsuspectingly. Those are the two main things. I have a third small issue, which is I have used, begrudgingly once, in Grass Valley co-housing, composite wood for siding. You know, it's basically particle board, and it has long-term issues, including the fact that it's not fire safe. So it's not fire resistant, it's not fire hardening by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know if there's any codes in Nevada City yet around fire hardening, but might be checking out. Even if there isn't, it's bad practice. You'll see that we used 100% hardy plank on our siding, and that was affordable housing. And you know, we didn't have the money to be willy-nilly about it, but we wanted to be as fire hard as we could. And that's all I have, and I think that we have. There's a bunch of minor things that I think the building department will catch.
If you could wrap it up, Chuck, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bunch of minor things that I think the building department will probably catch. But
Okay.
these guys might have other issues.
Okay. Someone else would like to make a comment?
Hi, I'm Ellen Fietz Hall. Apologies for being late. We four have been designated by the HOA to represent Broad Street Commons at this hearing. And basically, we're looking forward to having another neighbor, aren't you, John? Yeah, hello. And so we have 3 neighbors built out on those lots now and enjoy their company. And because we share the driveway, that common access, and because we're so close, there's a couple things we're concerned about. So Chuck already mentioned that. But one thing we notice that as we look at the drawing, we don't see that there's indication for a parking place for the garage, for the carriage house. And the other 3 built-out lots all have the garage and a space adjacent for the AUD parking. And so I can't tell from the drawings if there's enough room there actually for one, and it's just proposed for landscape now. But we were required to make sure the design included adequate off-street parking. So we think that would be a really good idea to have that 3rd space. And then there's a couple of other things, again, because we're sharing drainage, driveway and stuff. We have drainage challenges on the site, and we know it's planned that there's a drain that would feed into our drain. We would want that to be covered with silk cloth during construction. So in the construction disturbance, a lot of mud doesn't go down that drain because it'll clog up our drains. And then if there's a continuing problem, then we can work it out, to deal with, but certainly during construction. And same way, if there's a bunch of dirt on the driveway, on the asphalt, that would get cleaned up so it doesn't all wash down the drain. We would like that there be a general liability policy during the time of construction for at least $1 million that we would be named as an additionally insured on, so that if there were any mishaps during construction that caused injury or damage, because all our stuff is really close to where the trees are going to come down and cement trucks are going to come in and so on. And I can give you the exact wording that the HOA requires on a certificate of insurance. And for any contractor that's on our site, we get an Accord certificate naming us as an additionally insured. And then, this is probably just common sense, I don't know, but we would like, if there's any repairs or damages that need to be fixed, just something happens to the asphalt or, you know, who knows, that would be repaired by you, John. And so, yeah, so those are the 5 things that we would like to see incorporated into, well, I guess there's the 6th with the landing issue. So the drainage, so to be sure that's adequate, adequate on-site parking, erosion, silt collection, management during construction, so whatever cleanup and prevention, the insurance certificate, and that repairs be done if necessary. And we look forward to a new neighbor on the block and hope this can all go smoothly.
Great, thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to comment? Okay, seeing no other comments, we'll come back. Look to staff a little bit to respond maybe to some of those items, you know, specifically the issues, and maybe Russ too, the issues with the HOA and insurance. I mean, it seems a little bit out of our purview. Yeah. So,
right, they'll need to work individually together. We can't be requiring third parties to be insured by applicants.
Right. And maybe I'll start off the discussion here. So some issues that were brought up about drainage. Is that something that you've looked at in terms of your design and development there?
I'm happy with the idea of putting a swale there. It seems like a good idea. And anything that can control the water to where we want it to go, those measures will be taken.
Okay.
Same during construction to make sure that there's no dirt getting in the drains. Just regular precautions for construction to make sure that doesn't happen. The landing, I'm not sure of. I'll look into that. But as for traffic, there's only one house to the left of that, so there isn't really traffic per se going past there. But if that landing needs to be on the property and not an easement, then I'll look into that to make sure that it's done correctly.
It sounds like it'll be a requirement of the
Building part.
The building department, yeah, exactly.
As for parking, there's a 2-car garage for parking. The ADU could use one space, the main house the other.
Okay.
Is that something, though, first of all, is that something that we are even authorized to try to require? Additional parking for the ADU? That does seem to steer more towards our concerns, right?
And I'm not sure how that falls within the recent, there's been a lot of regulation recently and new things on ADUs.
Especially with parking. And secondly, is this the time and place where we enter into some kind of covenant where it's required that any renter for your ADU use one of those spots? And if not, how is that enforced? Like, what is that discussion? Sorry to be staring down at you, Becky. You're just in the seat.
I think in our code, it says that we don't require off-street parking for ADUs under a certain square footage, or if it's a studio unit. There needs to be 2 off-street parking spaces for single-family residences. Gosh, on the fly, it's hard to say.
I don't know, Russ, feel free to chime in as well if you have any guidance.
I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
What section are you looking at?
That was just off the top of my head. It'd be in the ADU section in the code.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to hear. Is it possible to turn the volume up?
Maybe the folks in the back could do that. There's folks in the back listening.
Perhaps we just need to speak
Yeah, there.
closer to the
I think it got
mics.
turned up.
That worked.
I don't
Yeah.
have a little buffer on mine.
A question I have pertaining to the parking space that your neighbors are suggesting. I'm wondering, is there language in the HOA? Is there a covenant that pertains to having a parking spot, a separate parking spot for the ADU occupant?
I'm not sure, but I don't think the language in the covenants is what we're here to discuss today.
If that's going to
Now
get,
it's too high.
it would, the new update in the ADU code, that's one of the things they specifically overruled, are covenants of homeowners associations that conflict with state law. So I'm trying to check that out right now, get our parking standard for accessory dwelling units. Didn't know this was going to come up. My question would be, is there space?
If you make it, there will be. You have to move things around a foot or two.
It's a great answer.
The answer for it, John.
All right, well, while you guys are.
I don't see a need for, I mean, do I need to make an extra park? Is that what you're telling me?
So I think the issue perhaps that's not being articulated is you may have intentions about only having one car for yourself or all the members of your family, but perhaps in the future, if you sell the house, it could easily be bought by a family with 2 cars and then an ADU dweller with another car or 2, who knows. And at this point in the planning process, we just want to make sure that we're anticipating those possibilities to the best that we can.
Okay. So what's the story?
Well, we're waiting on Russ to look up the requirements because there has been a lot of changes in the last few years with regard to ADUs and requirements that can be put on them. So
Yes.
I think we pause on that while he goes and looks.
I wonder if it would be worth discussing the Hardy Board issue while.
Yeah, I was going to suggest we move on to some of the any other questions or items that they have. So go ahead, Amy, if you would like to.
Great, let's talk about Hardy Board. I suppose blindly, my first question would be, had you considered using Hardy Plank, especially in light of the high fire severity danger areas that we live in?
Yes, but I was choosing the same material I used on my house on Boulder Street, which I built a few years ago. And it's also fire-safe material approved by the county. I like working with it, so if it's okay with the county.
So, remind me what it's called again. I feel like I heard MDF, and that's not fire safe, of course.
It's called an engineered siding.
Okay.
What's the brand name? Do you know?
I'm not sure exactly.
But it was approved by the county for fire-resistant properties. I suppose maybe we could work into our approval just a general umbrella clause that whatever the outside material is fire-resistant? Or if that's allowed?
Well, should this be above and beyond the regular requirements that we have on any other dwelling in the city, right? And I'm seeing Russ shake his head no.
Seems like no.
Yeah, and I think if it's, approved, if it is within our code and, it's approved by the building department, I agree, it's best practice to be as resilient as possible. I'm not commenting on the resilience of this, but if he's meeting the requirements, I think that's appropriate. Okay, were you able to find anything, Russ?
I am. Beth, Bethany, is it possible for you to bring up the municipal code?
Sure.
Section 1772026. It's just going to be easier if you read it.
Okay.
Great.
Because it's worded a little,
Sorry, which one? What code is it?
1772026, and then we're going to subpart E.
Okay. Is my screen shared? Oh,
Not yet.
It's probably selective.
What it starts with, the city shall not require the owner to provide more than one,
Okay.
which, so it doesn't say you're required to have one. It says you can't require the owner to provide more than one.
Additional parking space.
Additional parking space per dwelling unit or per bedroom. Then, very hard to see, but tandem parking can be provided as tandem parking on an existing driveway or within a setback area, or as tandem parking in locations determined feasible by the city, BU. Locations will be determined infeasible based on specific site or regional topographical, fire, life safety conditions, or that it's not permitted anywhere else in the city. This is not a studio unit we're talking about. It's got a bedroom, right?
Yeah.
The ADU, yeah. So, you can require one, but you can allow this to be structured as tandem on a driveway. It doesn't have to be.
Is it within a half a mile of public transit?
No. That would be a major
Okay, public transit.
bus stop.
It's
That
not
would
the
be
actual bus stop that we
two
have.
regular routes that intersect with a schedule of every 20-minute stops, and so it's a major transit. I don't think you have anything that qualifies for that.
Okay, so you're saying it is our discretion to, if we would like to require such?
So you can require one,
Yep,
no more than one,
no more than one, yeah.
and you can allow it as tandem parking on the driveway. So if there's two places in the garage and a place in the driveway.
Right. There's no driveway in that area.
Tandem parking, zero.
Oh, that's what we were just talking about, the within the half mile. They don't have anything that qualifies.
It's just, we can't require.
Is it possible on your property to
Yeah, you can.
make
For one
a
bedroom.
kind of driveway?
Okay.
It's less than that, but you can.
Is there more comment for us? Or?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
Oh, no, she asked a question. I asked, was there any more? It looked like you were discussing the parking requirement more.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I wonder if with setback options, there could be some kind of driveway in the front off of Chief Kelly?
Possibly. So, sorry, the two-car garage, one space can't be used for the ADU and one for the main residence, is that?
Yes, it can be. That is not,
It would need to be, I believe the house itself is going to require 2 off-street parking spaces.
The house requires two.
Right.
And a third
So now we're
ADU.
talking about the ADU as the third. But you could have the 2 spaces in the garage, and then if you park one in the driveway, you've created a,
but there is no driveway.
There isn't a driveway.
How can there be no driveway?
The garage.
It's a shared driveway. This right here is access. It's shared with the co-housing community.
Yeah, it's
So
right
they go
up there.
directly. Here's Chief Kelly in the front. This is the front of the house. This is the rear. So it's a shared easement.
so it's essentially like an alley
Yeah.
load.
Yeah. And then here are their garages.
more attractive than an alley, I'll say. It's a very charming little neighborhood.
Yeah, I get
for
it.
lack of
Yeah, I was just
driveway.
functionally in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't mean that derogatory. Back alley, you guys all live off the back alley. It's not very nice. Not nice of me at all. But so is there a place?
Well, I was just saying that perhaps they could put a small driveway in the front of the house off of Chief Kelly that could, and is that area that you're scrolling over, Bethany, the same as what Chuck is pointing to?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're talking about Chief
Well,
Kelly.
Yeah.
There's actually room off the alley to add another parking place. That says 6'9" plus 1'1", that's 111. A legal parking place can be 8 if it's a compact, or it can be 8'6", or I think you can even put 9'0", because this 5'9" only needs to be 3 foot up. So this could be narrower. He could easily park a parking place right on the left-hand side of the stairs.
And one map shows there's actually 11 feet 9 inches between the property line and the stairs, so it's a little hard to tell from the drawings, but the idea was there was room to fit a car there when these were designed.
It seems there's room for a space, is what I'm hearing. Okay, are there other, in addition to parking, are there other questions or discussion points?
I think we clarified the whole issue with the siding.
I think we're, well, citing. I think at this point, we're saying it needs to conform to requirements of the city and the county, but we're not proposing to put additional requirements upon it.
You're looking at the appearance. Yeah.
Pardon?
You're looking at the appearance of the siding.
Of
from
the,
your architectural
in terms of
view
our,
lens.
yeah. Are there other questions?
I'm not sure. I think the concern about drainage impacting your neighbors is a valid concern, and I'm not sure how we would verify that it's been engineered and addressed. What that process might be, but it seems like that should be a condition of approval for this project, because it'd be, I don't know why it's not actually, why there isn't a pretty thorough drainage plan here already.
I have made improvements to those plans since.
Oh.
It's got more detail on it, but yeah, drainage is a major consideration, and I'm a general contractor as well, so I've seen the issues that can happen without proper drainage on a slopey lot, so it's definitely something I'll factor in.
I think if this is the last word architectural approval go round for this before you go to plan check, I wonder if it would be appropriate to, because we won't have a chance to go over that ourselves, the aesthetics of it, if it might be something that's approved or looked at by the city engineer, just for verification. Is that a reasonable term, condition of approval?
Could we take a break on this for just, give me 3 minutes to have a private,
I think we'll
little side discussion here?
5-minute break while staff discusses this item. All right.
Some interesting things, questions have come up here.
All right, thank you. So, hand to the attorney, yes.
So I did not realize that the ADU as proposed is essentially over the garage and part of the primary structure. So it does fit into that list of exceptions where we cannot dictate whether there's additional parking or not.
Okay,
So that's off the table for us.
thanks,
Okay.
Russ.
All right. Did you still have that up? It was at 6266?
Yeah, Government Code Section 66322, Subdivision A.
Okay.
A local agency shall not impose parking standards on any of the following ADUs.
And then it was
And
number
one
3.
one of the line items is number 3, ADUs that are part of the proposed or existing primary residence or an accessory structure. So
And
that's,
And
this
the
is
accessory structure is the garage,
correct.
Okay.
right? And as part of that.
And
so-
this is state code, correct?
Yes, correct. This is
Okay.
the new updates.
Okay,
Solves that.
other items. Tom, I think you had some things you wanted to discuss?
I just think, I think did I say this already publicly?
Talked about the water?
Yeah,
Water
the
management
drainage
issue?
concern that the neighbors had, if we could include a condition of approval wherein the city engineer verifies that the drainage plan you come up with is sufficient, so that we can give you an approval today that would include your drainage improvements.
I'm not sure the city engineer is going to want to take responsibility for sort of certifying the drainage plan. He would review a drainage plan provided by the applicant.
That was my intention. It's certainly
Okay.
not within our skill set to
Okay, all right.
to
Just
engineer
so we're
those
clear.
things.
Are we moving on?
So when we had our break there, and I explained to the applicant, so we had the parking issue, which that appears to be resolved. However, we still have the issue of the applicant needing approval from the HOA on a number of issues. As I explained to him, the process is kind of a little bit backwards here in that he's not been before them at this point. He's going to have to go back to them. Depending upon what comes out of that discussion, he's going to have to come back to you anyway, which requires another application. So it may be of benefit to continue this item to your next meeting to have that step occur and bring it back and have it go much more smoothly. And to not have staff doing things that maybe are not appropriate at this time until we have the HOA approval.
I disagree.
And I did indicate to the applicant he can respond to that.
Yeah, I disagree. I would like to have my approval from the commission first, and then deal with the HOA.
John, could you use the microphone?
I would like to have approval from the commission first, and then take it to the HOA.
All right. Thank you for
I have
your
a
comments.
question, though, regarding that. It wouldn't be a fresh application, it would be just a continuation of this hearing after some modifications. So it's not a
It would have to be a new application potentially based upon whatever comes out of the HOA.
If it changes the application.
Correct.
I also have a question about the authority of the HOA, because the CC&Rs, excuse me, were prepared by the declarant, which needed to assign the rights of the CC&Rs to the HOA, and I'm not sure if, I haven't seen the document, the recorded document that assigns those rights.
So Russ, any comment on that?
My comment would be that that's really not something
Not
the city
germane to us,
is
yeah.
going to
Yeah.
examine or rule on or give you an opinion on. That's a private matter between.
Yep.
Between me and the HOA.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to deal with that separately.
So I think we've heard recommendation from staff that we continue this item. I think that's an appropriate action, given the questions that are happening with this.
And I want to make it clear that staff really considered making that recommendation, because I do understand that the applicant, John, has experienced some challenges in getting this before the commission as it is, and I sympathize with that. However, I think we want to make this as smooth as possible, as accurate as possible, and I even though it's another delay for him, I think it's to the applicant's benefit.
Okay. Any other comments from the commission at this point?
If we're discussing, I would just, it's my understanding though that if the next process changes in any perceptible way the appearance of the building, then you would have to come back
To us
again
anyway,
for
yeah.
another application, another meeting. So it may be more efficient to proceed.
Can I ask for a point of information? I don't know the procedure.
Yeah, not at this point. So are there any other comments from the commission or discussion from the commission? Seeing none, I think we can, let's see, do we need a motion to continue the item?
If you feel that it's in the best interest, so make sure but yes, a formal motion to continue, you've got a motion to approve, a motion to deny, a motion to continue.
Okay.
Those are your three basic
So
items, and
I think at this point, so I'll add to my discussion here, I think at this point, given recommendation to staff and also the questions that have arisen, I think it is appropriate to continue this item. I think it's likely to not just save work for the applicant, but save work for staff and for the commission as well. Any other discussion? If not, I'll make a motion. I will make a motion to continue this item.
I'll second.
If a motion, a second.
Commissioner Simmons? Yes. Commissioner Nye?
Yes.
Commissioner Hatami?
Yes.
Vice Chair Cupton?
Yes.
And Chair Brown?
Yes. Okay. Thank you all for your patience with this item.
Thank you.
And I believe that is the last item on the agenda. Are there any other items or informational things to discuss at this point? No? All right. I will adjourn this meeting.